Hello, can crossing one of the London bridges become an unforgettable experience? Absolutely, if it is a drawbridge. Before stepping on it, you will want to come at the moment when it opens and capture the entire unfolding process, just like the author of this video did. If you are curious, you can find the rolling bridge in the Paddington area. It is thrown across the Grand Union Canal to serve pedestrians, and to let ships pass, it folds into an octagonal wheel. It must be a strange feeling to cross the canal where just a minute ago there was nothing. This rope bridge in Crimea belongs to fairly new constructions that will definitely appeal to fans of extreme adventures. The bridge leading to Mount Ipetri was opened in the year 2015. It hangs at the height of 1,234 meters above the ground, and as you can see, there are no safety ropes here. Brave people cross it at their own risk. Although these wooden planks do not inspire much trust in me, I checked. Not a single accident on this bridge has ever been recorded. Sometimes a real engineering wonder can be found in the most unexpected places. Dachstein, the highest suspension bridge in Austria on the glacier of the same name, is located at the height of 400 meters above the mountain range. It is also known as the Stairway to Heaven. 14 steps lead you, one might say, into nowhere, to a small glass platform. For those who can endure the climb and overcome the trembling in their knees, a breathtaking view of the glacier and the highest peak of Austria, Grossglockner, opens up from there. The bridge itself has a length of 100 meters, and it was built in July of the year 2013 right on the glacier at the height of 2,700 meters above sea level. To reach it, you first have to go up by cable car. However, if you want to fully enjoy the mountain views, you must check the weather forecast in advance. Otherwise, you may find yourself in the middle of a snowstorm. Undoubtedly, this is one of the most thrilling entertainments for thrill seekers. Switzerland is famous for its magnificent natural landscapes, and although you can admire them from anywhere, perhaps there is one place from which the views are simply astonishing. The Trift Bridge, hanging 100 meters above the lake of the same name, is the longest suspension bridge in the Alps. Its length is 170 meters. Initially, it was built by a power company for work in this area, and later modernized and opened to the public. Since then, visitors' hearts freeze with delight as this place is simply breathtaking. If it seems to you that this bridge looks incredibly long, you are absolutely right. This is the longest suspension bridge in the world. Its length is 721 meters, and it is located in the Czech Republic. The bridge is called Sky Bridge 721. You will find it in the village of Dolní Morava, which is 200 kilometers from Prague. Fear may not leave you for a single second, but unforgettable impressions are worth it all. The Path of Death. This is the name of this extreme hiking trail on Mount Huashan in the Chinese province of Shanxi. It is represented by narrow wooden planks attached to sheer cliffs at the height of several hundred meters, and is considered one of the most dangerous pedestrian routes in the world. And indeed, although this path is not for the faint of heart, nevertheless, thrill seekers line up to take on the challenge. Despite numerous safety harnesses, there are no railings along the path. About 30 minutes of trembling and adrenaline will bring you to a place where there is a special platform with unforgettable views of the surroundings. And then you will have to make the way back. The peak tourist season on Mount Huashan lasts from May to October, but its conquest is not recommended for unprepared adventurers. At first glance, the Nanpu Bridge in Shanghai may not seem particularly remarkable. It stretches across the Huangpu River in China to connect the central part of the city with the distant district of Pudong. The bridge was opened in the year 1991, and now it is one of the symbols of Shanghai, as well as one of the most famous and beautiful cable-stayed bridges in the world. Just look at the stunningly complex road interchange it leads to. Because of its unique design, it is sometimes called the Spiral Bridge, and at night, the city lights turn it into an absolutely mesmerizing spectacle. It seems that China has set a goal to set a record for the number of unique bridges in the world, and the Ruyi Bridge is another example. This pedestrian bridge with a glass bottom actually consists of 3, and it was built to cross a mountain valley in Taizhou in the Zhejiang province. Its unusual curved walkways resemble the popular Chinese symbol Ruyi. Although it does not claim records for length or height, its design undoubtedly attracts attention, with 2 winding levels on which you can walk and a glass structure that adds thrill. This bridge is truly unique. Another incredible construction in China is the famous Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge, located in the National Forest Park of the same name. It is known for its transparent walkway and is the longest and highest glass bridge in the world. Its length is 430 meters and its width is 6 meters. The bridge rises 300 meters above the ground and opens up a breathtaking view of the canyon for visitors. There is also a bungee jumping platform on the bridge. Would you dare to make a jump into a 300-meter abyss? Or at least walk along the narrow glass walkway beside it? Keep in mind that nature spares nothing, and glass is just glass. Tell us about your impressions in the comments. Some places in the world are so stunningly beautiful that it is impossible to leave without taking a photo as a memory. The Golden Bridge in Vietnam is a wonderful example of this. At first glance, it is just a 150-meter pedestrian bridge, but what makes it stand out among similar ones are the 2 massive stone hands that seem to be holding the construction. Although the hands serve a purely decorative function, they give the bridge a special charm. It is not surprising that since its construction, tourism in this area has grown rapidly. Take a look at this pedestrian bridge in Singapore. Its double helix shape was inspired by the structure of human DNA. From the bridge, you also get stunning views of the city and the ocean, which makes it a popular place for photo shoots. As darkness falls, the entire structure begins to glow with multicolored lights marked with pairs of colored letters C, G, A, and T. At night, they shine red and green, representing cytosine C, guanine G, adenine A, and thymine T, which are the 4 basic nitrogenous bases that make up DNA. Modern architecture increasingly strives to give constructions not just functional design, but also a certain idea. And again, China leads the world. Tianjin is the only place in the world with a Ferris wheel built right on a bridge, the Yongle Bridge across the Haihei River. The diameter of the wheel is 110 meters, and a full rotation takes 30 minutes. Each of the 48 cabins can hold up to 8 people, and is located at a height comparable to a 35-story building. Needless to say, the view from there is simply breathtaking. Some places are so intriguing that it is impossible to pass by once you go on a journey. How about the Ponte Vecchio Bridge in Florence? This is something more than just a bridge. It has become a historical treasure in its own right, part of the cultural heritage of European civilization. The bridge was built in the Middle Ages, in the year 1345, and once it had a bustling market. And since the 16th century, it became famous as the Golden Bridge, where jewelry shops were located. They have survived to this day, making Ponte Vecchio a gem not only from the point of view of architecture, but also of history. By the way, its name translates from Italian as Old Bridge. Curious, right? But what was it called at the time of its construction? The fame of the iconic Ponte Vecchio Bridge in Florence gave no rest to the residents of a Chinese village. They also decided to turn their bridge into something extraordinary and built an architectural complex 400 meters long on it. The combination of Chinese and European styles was supposed to attract visitors from all over the world, but as you can see, beating the Italian record has not yet been achieved by this bridge. The Gulch Viaduct is a stunning example of 19th century engineering art, one of those constructions that were built long ago but still impress with the craftsmanship of execution. It remains the largest brick viaduct in the world, and it is unlikely that this will change anytime soon. The 4-level arched railway bridge connects the banks of the Gulch River in the eastern part of Germany near the town of Netschkau, rising 74 meters high. The bridge was opened in the year 1851 and continues to serve as part of the high-speed route connecting Dresden and Nuremberg. The Gotek Viaduct in Myanmar is exactly the kind of spectacle that impresses as much as it frightens. The largest railway viaduct in the world was built in the year 1899 during British colonial rule. It is truly gigantic. Its length is 689 meters and its height is 102 meters. Even today, the construction remains one of the most famous landmarks of the country. Trains cross this bridge slowly to prevent further wear of the century-old structure. It must be noted it is already not in its best condition. Nevertheless, the bridge provides passengers with a great opportunity to look into the deep abyss below. But one must be very careful. Sometimes the train passes very close to the cliffs, so it is not worth leaning out of the windows and doors of the carriages to capture the beauty around. We will do this instead and show it to you. Sometimes even quite modern constructions immediately become monuments of their era. This partly applies to the Brookport Bridge in the United States, which connects the states of Kentucky and Illinois. At one time, it was simply magnificent. Just imagine the date of construction, the year 1929, and the traffic back then. And today its steel deck with 10 lattice spans and a 2-lane road seem narrow and inconvenient. Not all types of vehicles can cross it. Look at how close an oncoming car is to you, and you will understand. Officially, the bridge bears the name of Irvin Cobb, a writer and journalist who was born in these places. Initially, the bridge was built by a private company and was used as a toll bridge, and later, the state of Kentucky bought it. Imagine that you are driving across a bridge and it suddenly disappears right into the water. That is exactly how the bridge tunnel thrown across the Chesapeake Bay works, connecting Virginia with the eastern shore. A unique system of 6 bridges, 2 underwater tunnels, and 4 artificial islands connects the mainland part of the state with the eastern shore of the Delmarva Peninsula. This wonder of engineering stretches for 28 kilometers and allows ships to pass above the surface of the highway, while cars dive underwater. Just think about it. One of the most remarkable and innovative roads on the planet was opened quite a long time ago, on the 15th of April, the year 1964. Unlike an ordinary bridge, a viaduct connects 2 elevated points, not 2 riverbanks. In the year 2004, the Millau Viaduct was built in France, and it still remains the tallest bridge in the world. One of its pylons reaches a height of 343 meters, which is 19 meters taller than the Eiffel Tower. The viaduct, as part of the A75 motorway, connects Paris with the cities of Béziers and Montpellier. In essence, it is more than just a 2,460-meter-long road suspended in the air. It is a remarkable achievement of modern engineering. It seems that in Denmark, they do not like to build ordinary bridges. The circular bridge, inspired by sailing ships, is intended both for pedestrians and for various types of marine vessels. Platforms can rise to let smaller boats pass, and for larger ships, the central section slides aside. Captains of ships can operate the bridge, which makes it more flexible and convenient. Let's just say it was created for its users. At first glance, this pedestrian and bicycle bridge in Copenhagen may also seem quite ordinary, but it has its unique feature. Since ships pass through the inner harbor of the city, the bridge must be raised to let them through. But engineers found another solution. The bridge is divided into several sections that slide apart when necessary. Imagine a bridge that was built not for cars, but for boats. And now look at how it actually appears. The Sarthe Canal in Belgium is a navigational aqueduct in the province of Hainaut that provides a connection between the river basins of the Escaut and the Meuse. This feat of engineering eases navigation between these water systems and allows ships to pass above a road interchange. Stretching for 498 meters, it connects two waterways and holds 80,000 tons of water. Built from 65,000 tons of concrete, the bridge is so organically integrated into the landscape that it is easy to mistake it for an ordinary road. If there were a prize for the most unusual engineering structures in the world, then the Slauerhof Bridge in the Netherlands would be the main contender. It is also known as the Flying Bridge because of its unusual design, and it fully justifies its name. The mechanism is hard to imagine until you see it in action. When a ship needs to pass part of the bridge, a movable platform is lifted into the air with the help of a special system and then returned into place. This is one of the most unusual bridges in the world where a platform system was used instead of spans. The Vizcaya Bridge, or in the original name, the Biscay Bridge in the Spanish province of the same name, is an outstanding engineering achievement, and you have probably never seen anything like it. Built in the year 1893, the suspension ferry connects the towns of Portugalete and Las Arenas. Its aerial gondola gently floats through the air. It became the first transport bridge in the world to carry people and vehicles in this way. The height of the bridge is 45 meters. The width of its central span is 160 meters, and the gondola of the bridge can transport up to 6 cars and several dozen passengers at the same time, crossing the river in just 90 seconds. The bridge operates around the clock, transporting about 6 million people per year. The Orson Bridge is truly a majestic construction. Its impressive size is not an accident. It includes a 4-kilometer underwater tunnel and connects 2 countries, Denmark and Sweden, stretching almost 16 kilometers. The bridge symbolizes the border between these 2 countries, but thanks to the Schengen Agreement, until the migration crisis, there was no passport control. In addition, the bridge is equipped with a railway line, which makes it the longest combined automobile and railway bridge in Europe. People have long used drawbridges to let ships pass, but they continue to come up with new creative alternatives. An excellent example of modern design is the Millennium Bridge in northern England, the first tilting bridge in the world. When a ship approaches, the bridge tilts to let it pass. Of course, pedestrians are prohibited from being on it at this moment, but once, as there always must be an exception to the rule, some daredevil tried to cross it while a ship was moving under the bridge. There is always someone ready to tempt fate. If an architect designs a bridge that looks like an amusement park attraction, then he has done something worthy of attention. This unusual bridge in Japan is mainly intended for tourists who can leisurely drive across it at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour while enjoying picturesque views. What is even more impressive is its year of construction. The spiral bridge was built in the year 1982, when similar parking ramp style entries were not yet common everywhere. Number 1. Who said that roundabouts cannot be beautiful? In fact, there is no roundabout here, and drivers have no choice but to drive straight. So why does this bridge have such an unusual design? Firstly, the creators of this construction in Uruguay wanted to build something more than just a crossing. They sought to create a landmark. Secondly, the construction helps to separate oncoming traffic flows, reducing the risk of accidents. And since the speed limit on the bridge is set at 30 kilometers per hour, drivers have time to enjoy the local scenery. This is an example of a wise engineering design that balances aesthetics and functionality. The Eshima Ohashi Bridge in Japan gives the impression of a crazy construction if you look at it from this angle. Its length is 1.7 kilometers and its width is 11.3 meters, and this incredibly steep-looking overpass connects the cities of Sakai Minato and Matsue. At first glance, the intimidating ascent may remind you of a roller coaster, but in reality, it only seems dangerous from the outside. The empty spaces in the construction create the illusion of a steeper slope. When inside a car, these irregularities are almost not felt. Nevertheless, its other local name, Beta Fumizaka, translates as pedal to the metal slope. This means that if you do not press the pedal to the floor, you will not easily climb up the bridge. Reducing and preventing traffic jams is the main problem of any megacity. Many think that wider roads will solve it, but this multi-lane highway clearly shows that it is not so simple. The road between Beijing and Shanghai is one of the busiest in the world. Initially, it was designed to handle up to 20,000 cars per day, but by the year 2007, the traffic had already doubled to 40,000. The worst traffic jams happen here on the eve of the Chinese New Year. Just imagine 50 lanes of the highway narrowing down to 20 and still causing a collapse at the toll collection points. Which construction impressed you the most? Share with us in the comments below. That is all for today. You are watching the channel Eternity Lab, the laboratory of eternally relevant content. Thank you for watching, subscribe, and check out our previous episodes.